that got out of hand very quickly, didn't it?
We knew it would. At least we didn't get death threats. I've already had one this week. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, do tell. Do tell.
Oh, there's a guy that I blocked off my Facebook years ago. He was a fan, and he got arrested for child molestation.
Oh.
And so I just blocked him off my Facebook list. He went to prison. I guess he got out of prison because this was 7-8 years ago. And he sent me a message on a new account the other day. Wanted to know why in the world I had blocked him. I just blocked him again. So then he starts another account just to message me one more time. Told me he's going to make me pay for that.
Oh, well, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody loves to threaten, I've noticed. All right, guys, let's see who all came on here with us. Say hello if you're in here with us so we know who's ever here. Y'all ready to get this so we can we'll do these things first and then we'll just talk after that.
Sure.
Sound good to y'all?
Sounds good.
That way we know we ain't running out of time. Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We're going to look at photographs from the Terry Gordy Memorial Show. And Jack, you said this was probably September of 2002.
Yeah, right around that time frame.
A lot of photographs that we took. We don't really have time to really go through all of them, but we will show some of the photographs that we do have. Here is a photograph from this, and it was Dirty White Boy Tony Anthony and the Honky Tonk Man Wayne Ferris during this. Jack, I think you have a story about Wayne Ferris, don't you, on that?
Yes. I'd never really been around Wayne very much until that night. And later that evening, Triple H and Stephanie were in town because that was during the time period where Triple H was staying in Birmingham and doing rehab where he had torn a quad. And so they called and asked permission to come to the show. Because I remember your dad coming up and saying, "Hey, you don't ever guess who's coming." So anyway, they came. They were so very helpful. And this is one of the reasons why I defend both of these individuals to this day, because I know what they're like behind the scenes and the way that they stepped up and did whatever that night. Stephanie, in fact, run the music for us that night. And the system there at Boutwell was old, antiquated, cassette tape. And Honky Tonk Man had not set his tape. And he throws it at her. Just very disrespectfully, just throws it at her. And she says something about, "Is it set?" And he said, "No, that's your job." And that's when I lost my cool with him and said a lot of words that my Army drill instructor would have been very proud of. In fact, your dad was too when he heard about it later. And I figure the only thing that saved him was Triple H was not within earshot of that happening. So I just really haven't had a whole lot of use for Honky Tonk Man. I'm not taking nothing away from the things he accomplished in his career, but as a person, I don't like him. So there we go.
By the way, also that night, I believe, did Tommy Rich wrestle against Dirty White Boy that night, Rodney?
He did not. He did not. It was the Dirty White Boy and Nightmare Ken Wayne against Michael Hayes and Roy Gordy.
Ray Gordy.
Ray Gordy. Also known as Roy Gordy in some places.
We were talking, Jack was talking about Triple H and Stephanie being there, and they were definitely there. And here is a photograph of them in the back at the Boutwell Auditorium with Nature Boy Buddy Landell, and I believe that's Buddy Landell's wife.
Mm-hmm.
There you see Stephanie, Buddy Landell, and Triple H. This is from Birmingham, Alabama, at the Boutwell Auditorium for the Terry Gordy Memorial Show.
And we have to remember that Michael Hayes was there by permission of Triple H and Stephanie.
Yes. The picture there, and so now here is a photograph, and we'll try to say what some of the people that are in this photograph. But this was one of the participants of the main event, Nightmare Ken Wayne, and you see Roy George in the background. I think the big boy behind Michael Hayes, Michael P.S. Hayes from Bad Street, USA. There you see Chad Fuller on there, and I don't know who Jack. You know who that guy is way back here in the back is?
No, I can't even see it well enough.
And Ray Gordy is be right.
As you can see, that picture of Roy George, you can see why he makes the perfect referee. He wears those glasses. Of course, when he referees, he doesn't have any.
All right, here is another photograph from there, and legendary Mr. Wrestling 2 and the Tennessee Stud, Ron Fuller,
and of course, right behind him, Downtown Bruno.
Don't believe that's Downtown Bruno.
I believe that's Downtown Bruno.
Don't believe it is.
I believe it is.
All right, now Rodney, I may need some help on who's all in this picture here.
Wow.
Who's the lady wrestler? Do y'all remember who that was? I can't remember now. Buddy Landell is there. Chad Fuller. That was Ron Fuller's wife at the time in the yellow. And I can't remember who was the guy that was in the leather. I can't remember his name, but wasn't that the guy that Dad went over there and told him that their match was horrible? I can't remember who that was, but.
Oh, was that the rodeo cowboy guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Jimmy Gold in the background, Mr. Wrestling 2, also in that photograph. A lot of things going, and you know, since Triple H was in town, that they thought maybe they was going to have a ladder match.
That's right.
Mr. Wrestling 2, and who is this guy that's with him? He's an old wrestler, right?
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
All right, here's a photograph that Jack is going to know who it is in the background. He's going to exactly know who this young man sitting in the background is.
That's my son.
In the background there, Michael Hayes, the Freebird Michael Hayes, in the dressing rooms of the Boutwell Auditorium. But I thought you would enjoy that, Jack, to see that photograph. Here is the lady that put the show on, Linda Marks. She was the promoter for the show. We see Roy George, Michael Hayes, and Ray Gordy in the background. And I don't know how many people must have been there. Do y'all remember? Because, man.
Oh, there was
a ton of people.
There's Tommy Weathers, Bobby Eaton.
And by the way, Jack, me, and Rodney all was at this show, but there's not one photograph of us in this.
Well, we were.
Whoops, we just lost him. Yep. But we see Bobby Eaton in that, Tommy Weathers, Ronnie West, ton of other people in this. I don't even know if we could everybody in that photograph, but Tommy Weathers, West there.
Let's see. Mike Mitchell, is he not in there as well?
Is that the long hair?
Yeah, I believe that is Mike Mitchell, the one with the long hair. All right, here is a photograph, another one.
Buchanan.
Buddy Landell, Bob and Scott in the background back there. Okay, Rodney, you'll remember who this guy is. I can't remember his name. What's the guy's name that's over here on this side?
That is River D'Angelo.
Rivers D'Angelo, that's right.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Linda Marks, the promoter.
And it looked like Linda Marks possibly has a chicken in her pocketbook.
I don't remember if this was the night that your dad went out and stopped Rivers' match, or if that was on another card. But
it might have been on another card.
I don't believe it. No, let me think. I believe it was that one, because I went down one way and Brent went down and Dad came down the other way.
Whoa, he was mad.
There is the Demon Master.
Yep.
Danny, what was his last name?
Danny Sims.
Danny Sims. That's his son, right?
Mm-hmm. He was a police officer here where I live now.
And Robert Fuller is a photographer. Robert Fuller with them. All right, here is a picture of Dirty White Boy, Tony Anthony, and Jerry Stubbs. They must have been 42 wrestlers on this card.
Yeah.
There must have been a lot of guys on this card. Here is another photograph that the guy got up high to get, and you see Sensational Sherry in that picture. Also, you got Tommy Weathers in it, River D'Angelo, Jerry Stubbs, Robert Fuller. I think Robert Fuller and Sensational Sherry talking to each other. Here is another, evidently Buddy was talking to Michael Hayes the whole night because he's in all kinds of pictures with him.
He's probably trying to get another spot.
Michael Hayes in that one. I love this photograph right here. It's Michael Hayes and Ray Gordy.
Yeah.
Great picture right there. And here is another great picture of Ron Fuller and Chad, Ron Welch, Chad Welch. A good picture of them together. Well, they look a lot alike, don't they?
Sure do.
Here is another photograph. Ron Fuller in the background, Wrestling 2, Roy Lee Welch, and Michael Hayes. I believe this might be a very young Eric Wayne. I believe in the background. Is that not him sitting on the couch?
Looks like it.
Jerry Stubbs back there, Chad, Dirty White Boy, Mr. Wrestling 2, and the referee. What was that referee's name? He was Terry Gordy's nephew, I believe. He could have been. I can't remember his name. Ricky something.
I can't remember.
He's in the background there. All right, here is another photograph with beautiful Bobby Eaton, Robert Fuller. I'm not for sure who the other people are. Ray Gordy is in that picture as well. Ronnie West, the back of Ronnie West's head right there in that one. Robert Fuller, Mr. Wrestling 2. Always loved it when he had his glasses on. Over there. And then one other picture here. Here is Buddy Landell, Connie Gordy. I think that's one of the daughters, but I don't know that's Miranda, is it?
That's not Miranda, I don't believe.
Is Miranda
was a lot younger.
I think Miranda, but might be the one standing where we don't really see her. But they were there.
You're saying that she's the ponytail here? That's what you're trying to say?
Maybe. Right. Not for sure. I don't know. I don't. That was many years ago, and that's our photographs of just some of the photographs of that night Terry Gordy Memorial Show. But if you enjoyed these photographs, if you enjoyed this memory back to 2002, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page. Go one step further. Hit that notification bell. And I tell you what, go to ProWrestlingTees.com. I believe there's some Terry Gordy shirts available.
I believe, yes, there are.
Go buy
and there's also some Miranda Gordy shirts there too.
Go buy one of those shirts, as you know, and show a little bit of respect for Terry Gordy. Probably one of the greats. I would say one of the greats professional wrestlers of all time. We'll see you on the next video. All right.
I've got a few pictures from that night.
I can't remember who that was that took them. I know we hired them to do it, and I don't remember who it was. Michael said he was making my list and making it twice. He's going to see who's naughty or nice. Rick Brooks, hope you're still with us, Rick. Terrence Hardy. What did y'all think of Roy Lee Welch? Love Roy Lee Welch. What a tremendous man. I loved him. He was always good to us.
Very nice, very knowledgeable, just and had a great business mind.
Did you meet him, Jack?
I met him several occasions. He was always just a really, really nice man to be around.
Yeah, I always liked him. He was always good. Michael Bark, who pitchers. Aaron Garland said, "Are you discussing the CCW mink coat tournaments on Monday?" Yes, we will do that 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to tell you that video. By the way, I will tell you this: that video will never air. Will never air. What we talk about on that particular day will be, as they say on what Mission Impossible, it will self-destruct in 10 seconds after we do this video. Very interesting stories of what went on during those mink coat tournaments. Robert Grice said that just finished Shawn Michaels' biography on A&E from last night. I recommend it.
I did too. I just watched it this afternoon. It really was tremendous.
Michael Barr said that is his hearing glasses, right? What was Buddy Londale? What was that, Buddy Londale? About, well, yes. Or as I used to call it, Butwell, and Alabama.
Madison Square Garden of the South.
How long ago were those pictures? 2002. We figure somewhere around September of 2002 is what we're
2001. September 2001. Yeah.
So yeah, that's many years ago. Michael said, Brandon, if I'm not mistaken, the other man picture of Miss Wrestling 2 was a manager and used to walk around with a cane. Anyone here know?
I don't remember.
I remember.
I remember him being a wrestler. I don't remember him ever being a a manager.
I remember them telling me, but I don't. And I didn't meet him that night. We were very busy.
Was that possibly Tarzan White? I don't remember if he was still with us then or not.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I just can't remember who.
I met him several times, but that's been a long time ago.
Rolly Welch wrestled 1974-75. Yes, he was there during the whole problems with the All South Wrestling Alliance, and he was like, "What are we going to do now?" And I think they told him once, "So we'll change the locks. That's the first thing you're going to do." And try to keep Ann Gunkel out of the office. So changing the locks was the first thing they told him to do. So. But you got to remember, Roy was probably very young at the time, so he probably didn't know it. Yes,
I'm missing Richard for some reason. Is he not with us? Richard, are you with us tonight?
Maybe Richard couldn't come on with us. Maybe he couldn't come. Maybe he had things he had to take care of tonight. All right, let's do this other thing here, so we don't. And we'll show some more photographs and stuff, and then we'll start talking to people. Here, who's a new message? Who was that from there?
Aaron says, "Check your list again, guys. You may have him as Luger."
Oh man, Lexi, the total package. Well, I called him something else. I called him the total.
Everybody did. Same name. Started with a P.
It did start with a P. Going in 5, 4.
With a K.
Start that countdown again. Okay, I'm ready now.
Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We have been getting people that love to see our photographs or collections, so we're going to continue looking at some of those. And here we go, 1987. 1987, great tag team of Jerry Stubbs and the Dirty White Boy from 1987. Some of the best matches I ever witnessed was with these two guys and a team called the Nightmares, Danny Davis and Ken Wayne. They had some Nightmare Cage matches that would go down in the history of some of the greatest matches of all time. Jerry Stubbs is in another list with Brad Armstrong.
Yep.
You know, Jerry just was so good at what he did. he should have been a millionaire for the ability that he had. There's no doubt about it.
And if it wasn't for his sickness, his health issues, he probably would have been a superstar.
Yeah, I agree. Here's another photograph of Jerry Stubbs going against Brad Armstrong, Boutwell Auditorium. This may have been the match where they bled like there was no tomorrow. Great picture, Roy George. Did I say Roy Welch refereeing?
That's Roy George.
Roy George. Sorry.
That's right.
I love this photograph right here. This is one of my. But Brad Armstrong, Bob Armstrong, Gordon Soley. Look at this picture. This is tremendous.
Oh wow.
And in case you're wondering what they're talking about, he was saying, "Hey Bob, you think I could borrow a cigarette?"
And you know what Bob was saying? No, they're mine.
Get you wrong. What's wrong with you, Gordon? I'm gonna take you to Raise.
All right,
I didn't see your last name is Armstrong. You're Solely.
This guy was not nationally known by no stretch of the imagination. This guy was not the greatest wrestler in the world. He would not make a top 100 list. Could actually be probably worse wrestler than George Goulas in some people's minds. Now, this guy really could be there. But he had the ability to draw big houses in Birmingham, Alabama, and did so several times.
Are we talking about Kaiser? No, we're not.
And we're not talking about Lex Luger. Here we go, folks.
Yep, he is the great Kaiser, Dr. Johnny Peoples.
If you will look, I believe it's Yellowhammer News. They just did a story on him. He is well up into his 80s, and they did a little interview with him. He's actually pictured without the mask, and talks about how he headlined Boutwell Auditorium for about 35 years.
Okay.
Well, he did headline a few times, and honestly, so we can tell the story why he did sell out the Boutwell Auditorium once. He went on television, a local channel. I don't know what channel was, whatever the channels were. I can't remember the channels now in Birmingham. He got into an altercation with I believe it was the weatherman.
It's Herb Winches, I believe, wasn't it?
Was it Herb Winches?
I believe it was Herb Winches.
And they had a match, and it sold out. It sold out the bill. He came back and had a match with someone else, and it did get well again. But he had the ability, both these guys had the ability to get the media behind it. Yep. And they were very good at what they did. As far as promoters and people who knew how to promote themselves, they really and truly knew how to promote themselves.
His manager, was it Johnny Peoples?
Yeah, Johnny Peoples.
Yeah, now he was a radio personality, I believe, there in the Birmingham area.
He also ran the Jewish Community Center there as well. Nice people.
Oh, very nice. Tremendously nice, both of them.
Buddy Roberts of the Freebirds. This was a publicity picture for the UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation, where we actually stayed for maybe how long we were there, Rodney? 6 weeks?
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
It was like the revolving door.
And apparently, Buddy saw some of the matches for that night.
Yeah, probably. Here is a photograph.
Who?
Before he was Mr. Wonderful. This was way before he was Mr. Wonderful. Southeastern Championship Wrestling. This photograph I purchased. This was one of the photographs that Paul Orndorff sold when he was wrestling for, this would have been 1979. I believe it was 1979. Is that the year he was wrestling, Rodney, in Southeastern?
Yeah, 1980. It would be 1980 up there.
Got a little crooked or something, don't I?
Great matches with Schultz and Condrey up there.
Yeah, it's good.
Dick Slater, Paul Orndorff against Schultz and Condrey. Great matches, terrible crowd, but great matches.
Here is
Hold it. Okay, go ahead.
UWF wrestling program. Look at Sting there.
3 great workers.
That's right.
Sting.
That's right.
All right. Here we got Steve Dr. Death Williams, Ted DiBiase, the Fabulous Freebirds, Missy Hyde, John Tatum, Dark Journey, and Missing Link. By the way, this duo right here were the only people the people would get with during that time.
That's right. It's amazing. But they were. That was the only match they came to see, really.
By the way, I saw Missy Hyde. She was at some kind of autograph signing, and she still looked pretty good. And that she is a Facebook friend of mine.
She actually looks better now than she did the last few years. I don't know what she's done different, but she looked really nice.
Yeah,
probably good lighting.
This was actually in an open setting where it wasn't a set picture up somewhere. So she looked pretty good.
Do y'all see the Something to Wrestle With?
Yeah.
Isn't that a podcast now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Bruce Pritchard's.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not original. He actually was doing this program, by the way. I'm pretty sure he was the one putting this together.
Yeah. That's where the name come from. He's paying homage to that.
There we see the one-man gang, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Skandar Akbar, the general. And we sold these. And then here is Rodney's favorite, Terry Taylor. He wants action, by the way. And then we got Jack Victory, great wrestler, and Rick Steiner. By that time, they called him Rick Steiner. When he first went in there, he's Rob Rick Steiner.
Well, that's his real name, Robert Rick Steiner.
So good program there. Then here is a picture of this was during the UWF times as well of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Great wrestler. I mean, one of the best.
Yep, absolutely.
Knew what he was doing. Mr. Wrestling 2 with the Champions of Champions Cup. I believe I also at one point had that up on the.
Yeah, it's right behind you. It's right behind you. It's right behind you on the.
Oh, I still have it up there, don't I?
Yeah.
Right there, back there.
There we go.
We sold these photographs. Sold many of these in 1987 in Continental Championship Wrestling. Here is a photograph of Steve Armstrong and Johnny Rich. And what was that referee's name, Rodney?
John Keaton, I believe was his name, wasn't it?
John Keaton. Yeah, we got a story about him too, we can tell.
He was the number 1 ring man.
He was, yes, he was. Steve Armstrong and Mike Golden. This was Continental Championship Wrestling, 1987. Hey, there's stars on that mat. That's where Mike Jackson got that name from, I think, All-Star.
Yep, that was it.
Kenny Lucas.
Yes. What belt does he have on that, Brent?
Do what?
What belt does he have on there?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I can. Wait a minute. Mid-America.
Mid-America. Okay.
America Tag Team Champion, I believe is what it says. Yeah.
Man, he was so good.
Lucas really good. Very credible. If you get a chance to hear Lucas do one of his interviews, just tremendously credible.
Mm-hmm.
And the last picture we're going to look at, the Wild Bunch. There you see them. Lord Jonathan Boyd, Mike Golden heading down, Tom Pritchard. You see his legs down below.
Tremendous pair of boots he had there.
Yes. Greatest boots in the wrestling business, walking down the aisle right there. But that's just a collection of our photographs.
Get Jack back on
just
here.
A little bit of collection of the photographs we have, and this is, be honest with you, this is just this is nothing really of what we do have to show everyone. If you enjoyed this video, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page if you haven't already. Go one step further. Hit that notification bell and share the video. And if you're not a supporter, go to our Facebook page, Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. Become a supporter, and you'll get a lot of extra stuff. And until the next video, we'll see you later right here on Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Finally, The Rock has made it. Victor Nash, calling himself The Rock. Let's see. Where was I at? Classy Freddie Blassie's, but that was not Classy Freddie Blassie in that picture.
No.
Now we wouldn't remembered him being there. We'd all probably had a picture took with Freddie Blassie.
Yeah, I'll be getting me an autograph or two. And I'm sure. I have no idea where I was at during this whole time. I was there, but I don't know what I was doing.
Oh, we were all running because there was so much going on that we had to take care of that night.
Yeah, it was just nonstop.
I mean, we were taking care of finishes, we were taking care of matches, we were taking, so we didn't have time to
front. And there, the music guy was you couldn't play it yourself. They had a union guy; he had to play it all, and he may or may not want to do it.
He would turn your mic on and off. He would turn your mic on and off the whole night.
I finally got him to put a microphone up on the stage because we needed it as the wrestlers come back. I was floor directing. We didn't have a floor director. That was the first time ever. I'm floor director. Come up here, grab this microphone.
Took over the music because you were directing traffic during the show, because I think that was the night we had Bobby Eaton keep on coming back.
Yes, come on. Dad was out there saying, send him back, tell him to do it again, because it got over so well. And that's what you have to do. You need to measure what the crowd's buying that night, and if you need to, give them a little more.
Because did Mike not Mike Mason? I think Mike Mason, but what was the guy's name? Mike Mitchell. Didn't he referee that night and then do the
yes,
he
did. And then Bobby picked him up, slammed him, and did the leg drop off the top rope.
And then he was going to give all three of us and the referee a leg drop because he's going to throw us out of the ring. And that's the stuff that got over. And it wasn't planned. We did it it was off the cuff. Everything we did was off the cuff a lot of times, because if it got over, it got over.
Yep.
Sometimes we used to say, go back out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it again. If things getting over, let's don't stop it. Let's go for it.
I got pinned 3 times by Terry Gordy one night because it kept getting over.
That's right.
Hey, you do what you something must have stunk. Look at Buddy Rogers. That's Buddy.
That's what that was some crowds. Matches too.
Michael said, good on Jack 3, great, plus the police. Victor Nash, the missing link was over.
Oh yeah. Well, he was just great at what he did. I mean, he was great as Dewey Robertson, and nobody, I mean, it took years for people to figure out that he was missing link.
He was good at that, though. When that music
was great.
Bang Your Head would hit the people. That was the only match that was getting over in UWF. Even the Freebirds were not getting over at the time. Now, I will tell you this. Their T-shirts sold like hotcakes. We couldn't keep the Bad Street USA shirts in stock.
I think we mentioned before, they were trying to force something that was not able to be done. They were used completely in the wrong way. And when they came in for the second time, they tried to redo what they did before. No, that people wasn't buying them in that capacity.
By that time they had superstar status. They were superstars, and you just couldn't make them heels at that point. Mr. Wonderful was intense. Yes, he was. Yeah. He was so good at what he did. Mm-hmm. From the beginning, he was good. That was what was the thing about Paul Orndorff, but he was an athlete, and he could take direction. Jim Ross said this, and Bill Watts said it too, that football players, in general would make pretty good wrestlers because they knew how to take direction. And they had to take direction while they was a football player. And it made them good wrestlers because they could take direction. And they were in a team environment. They didn't always make them great wrestlers. But they were able to take direction though.
Yep.
They were able to listen, and because they knew back those days they'd get cussed out if the coach didn't like what they were doing.
Well, and the wrestling promoters would tear into you too. So.
Gordon described the link as a throwback. Michael Barr, Ron, you mentioned bad crowds. I might have been in one of those crowds.
It's your fault, Michael.
Michael Barr said he liked Ken Lucas's rabbit punches. Yeah. Oh, that was good.
That to me when he used to grab the guys by the nose.
There's a, I think it's Wrestling, Rasslin, maybe channel on Roku. And there's a lot of the Southwest wrestling stuff, and there's a lot of Ken Lucas matches on there. And that was during that time period when he had Ricky Morton under his wing.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. He taught Ricky Morton everything. I'm going to take these out. We're done with the video, so it won't matter if it's if you can't mat wrestle, you will not be in my top 100. I was only concerned with crowds and money if I was promoting. And that Charles, that's the truth. And that's what you should be. As a promoter, that's what you should be. I have noticed just in you cannot be friends with the people you book. Just make sure as a booker you're not their friend, because it's hard to get rid of them. Because they won't be your friend much longer. Because you're going to get rid of them. If they can't draw you money, you got to get rid of them.
Well, and if they are your friend and you are the booker, they should know that they.
Here we go. Get back to the ring. I heard a bell.
You have to move talent around, and that doesn't mean that you can't take 3 months away and then come back.
Yeah.
Victor Nash said, "Wasn't Brad Armstrong a referee?" Did he referee?
I don't remember him ever refereeing.
I don't either. I don't remember any of them refereeing.
Michael Barr said Scott Armstrong did, but Scott didn't referee till later on.
Yeah. I don't think Brad did. I think he went directly to wrestling because Jerry Stubbs is the one who helped train him. And I don't think he refereed. Now he could have refereed in some spot shows, and just to get him some ring, to be in the ring, kind of learn. I'm not saying he could. Hey, is that the one that was in the?
No, she's still caged up. This was the good one.
She must have went to sleep because I hadn't heard her in a while.
She's over there. She's whining real low.
I hear her now. Victor, I think Scott Armstrong referee. Yes, it was Scott Armstrong. He did referee, but years later, I think by the time, I guess WCW, wasn't it? When he first refereed, or did he referee
before? I think
so. Richard Hood. Hey, there's Richard. He made it.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, were you going to put something on the Honky Tonk Man? Well, we did it.
Yeah, we talked about it first of the episode.
I'll just repeat it just for a little bit.
Go ahead and repeat it for Richard.
I tell you what I will do is I'll give you a Sherry Martell story.
Okay.
Since we're off the air. You guys remember Adam Roberts. And for those of you who don't know who Adam Roberts was, Adam was a pretty good independent wrestler, but he is best known now for heading up Main Event Gear. And he makes the majority of the WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling. If it's fantastic looking gear that these guys are wrestling, they come from his shop. He has a full crew that works for him. Great guy. He was absolutely obsessed with Sherry Martell. And he did not believe that Sherry Martell and I had a short thing years ago. And so the night of the Terry Gordy Memorial Show, I knew she was coming, but he didn't. So he was watching the back door. If you weren't on the list, you didn't come past him. So he's at the back door, and I'm standing up in that mezzanine area, and I hear, Jack, And I turned around. He said, "It's Sherry Martell." I said, "Yeah, I know. I let her in." So he's just all enthralled. So he's just got this love look in his face. I mean, he is just completely in love with Sherry Martell, and she's nice to him. She walks up the steps, comes right up to me, and kisses me. And I see his face out the corner of my eye where he goes. So he has told that story many, many times over the years of whenever Jack tells you he's not a ladies' man, he's lying.
Sherry was a tremendous.
She was wonderful.
She was, never let her stardom go to her head. She was always the same person, the same lady that actually picked me up and body slammed me in Meridian, Mississippi, on the floor, by the way. Same lady that did that. It's the same lady that was there that night, and she was always good. Now she was a little drunk on that night in Meridian, Mississippi.
She was having a good time.
Paul Orndorff should be in the top 100. Yes, yes, he should, no doubt. Now, he should be. Brad was also good as a wrecking man in Blackstreet. They never gave any of those gimmicks any. For some reason, it was Bad Street though, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bad Street.
Wasn't
the wrecking man gimmick was getting over fairly well, but Marvel Comics issued a cease and desist because it was a direct Spider-Man ripoff. Yeah, so actually, Scott Armstrong got the outfit from him and was doing independent shows, and I was doing a full body mask gimmick at the time, and he and I did a heel tag team together.
And then Scott came back out with Scott Armstrong later on.
He did. Against me.
Hey, well, people don't understand back then. That happened. They do that all the time. It was an ongoing thing back then, especially when somebody didn't show up. Always have a mask always have another gimmick in your tights at all. I mean, in your bag at all times, so that way you can do another gimmick if you have to.
I did the TV taping in Knoxville in 1985. Les Thatcher and I were talking about this, and Les didn't remember me till I brought up about me doing 4 mask gimmicks on 2 TV tapings that day. And he's, yeah, I remember that now because some of the guys didn't show up, and you were going in there and stripping off and putting new stuff on. And he said that was pretty good.
Well, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Okay, guys, we're going to get off here. We stayed on until about 9:30 last night, so we're going to go ahead and get off here tonight. But thank y'all so much for supporting the channel. We certainly do appreciate it. A lot of things going on. We're still working on Friday, October 8th. Some things had to change on us for what we've got going on until we get that settled out, which we should by this week. We should be able to get this settled out. Always something goes wrong.
It's actually going to be better.
Yeah. So, but we'll tell everybody about it. It's still going to happen. It's just we don't know the venue yet. Venue got changed on us, and that happens. That will happen. It's not the first time. It won't be the last. But still, put down Friday, October 8th. 2021, and we will still be doing something pro wrestling inside and out. Jack, anything you want to talk to everybody about before you leave?
I think I've given all my inside secrets that I can for one night.
Rodney, anything?
Great shows at Henderson's Arena in Atlanta, Georgia.
What did he say?
Great shows at Henderson's Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Outside. I've never been to a show there that was any good. I just thought about that. Well, is this a venue you're talking about, Henderson's Arena in Atlanta, Georgia?
Scooby? What in the world is he talking about? We'll see you guys next week.
Cow Barn.
We'll see y'all next week.